Okay, we're going to get started here. Good afternoon. Oh, sorry. Okay, good afternoon. My name is Regence Norwoods. I'm a Senior Certification Officer with the Department of Procurement Services. One of the responsibilities that I have here is to review applications. And you're here for the ACDBE, DBE workshop, so those are the types of applications that I would review, along with the local program, which we have another workshop, the How to Become Certified workshop. That's for the local programs. That's the minority, the women, the veteran, the people with disabilities workshop. But the two programs are very similar, so we'll talk about that today. One thing that I wanted to do is go around the room and if you could just introduce yourself and tell me your business, if you've started the application process.
Oh, no, I have not started the application, but I am interested in concessions with the airport.
Okay, great. Are you certified? And let me know if you're also already certified MBE or WBE.
No, I have not. Okay.
Same here. I have not started the process and am not certified.
Okay, what kind of business?
A law firm.
A law firm, okay.
Hi, I'm Jose Aleman,
It's on, yeah.
and I'm an artist and an architect, and I'm just trying to make some money.
Okay. You haven't started the process yet? Has anyone? I am.
Hi, my name is Mary Brown. Me and my partner Abril, we just opened up a new business ourselves, women and minority owned. I'm working on the certifications now. I started the certification process online for both DBE as well as MWE and WBE and MBE.
So you're a
Minority women, yes. DBE, yeah. So we're just starting the process now, and I've been to one workshop so far, so I started it online.
And what's the name of your business?
It's called Roll Interactive. So it's marketing services and business strategy. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
My name's Armand Johnson. I'm a real estate broker. I have not started the process. I'm just coming to get some information.
Okay, great. And then we have two interns back there just observing, if you're wondering. Okay, so great. So today's workshop agenda is we'll be talking about the DBE, and you're all familiar with the acronyms, Disadvantaged Business Enterprise. And yeah, this is all. This workshop is for the federal programs: the DBE, Disadvantaged Business Enterprise, and Airport Concession, Disadvantaged Business Enterprise program. We'll talk about the program requirements, the certification process, the application, the benefits of becoming DBE, ACDBE certified with the City of Chicago, and what happens once you are certified. So DPS, that's the Department of Procurement Services, we are the contracting authority for the procurement of goods and services for the City of Chicago. We pledge to work together as a team and with our customers to guarantee an open, fair, and timely process by establishing, communicating, and enforcing superior business practices. Integrity, public trust, and the law are our guiding principles. So the DBE, ACDBE certification requirements. The City of Chicago is a federal grant recipient subject to the U.S. Department of Transportation, DOT, and Federal Aviation Administration, which is the FAA, DBE, ACDBE requirements under 49 CFR Part 26 and 23. So those are our guidelines. The objective of the DBE, ACDBE program is to ensure non-discrimination in the award and administration of DOT, FAA-assisted contracts in the department's highway, transit, airport financial assistance programs, and airport concessionaires programs. It's also, the objective is also to create a level playing field on which eligible businesses can compete fairly for DOT-assisted contract opportunities. The DBE program provides guidance for the participation of DBE firms in federally funded contract opportunities. So basically, if you are looking to work on a federal contract with federal funds, this is a certification that it would be advantageous for you to have as a minority, as a woman, as a socially and economically disadvantaged person or business. So 49 CFR Parts 26 and 23 state that a business concern must be a for-profit, a small business, which is at least 51% owned by one or more socially and economically disadvantaged person, and whose management and operations are controlled by one or more of the socially and economically disadvantaged owners. Airport concessions can include businesses that provide management, consultation, goods, supplies, and advertising services to concessions operating at an airport. So for an airport concessions, it's not just opening up an airport concession at the airports. It could be providing a consulting service to those concessionaires, or we've seen like accounting services. So those type of services, you would need an ACDBE certification to get the credit for that. So groups defined by the regulations as disadvantaged are Black Americans, Hispanic Americans, Native Americans, Subcontinent Asian Americans, Asian Pacific Americans, women, and other groups that can prove that they have been socially and economically disadvantaged. So if you don't fall into one of those groups, but you feel that you have been discriminated against or have a social and economic disadvantage, you could state your case and it would go before an actual advisory board, affirmative action advisory board, and they will decide. So business size standards to be considered a small business. DBE firms, we average 3 years of your annual gross receipts of the business. And the limit for DBE is 23.98 million, the lesser of actually 23.98 million, or the size limit for your, for the service, for instance. I think you said you're an architect. Their limit might be, and this is just a guess, it might be 15 million. So that would be the size limit that we would compare your gross receipts to. ACDBE and DBE, the 3-year average annual gross receipts must not exceed 56.42 million, so it's sizably more, and that's because of the nature of the business at the airport concessions. There are exceptions to that where, car rentals, it's 75.23 million. Banks, it's 1 billion in assets. Employees, payphone companies, we look at the employee amount, which is 1,500, and for automobile dealers, it's 350. This doesn't apply to anybody here, it doesn't sound like. So if you're applying for ACDBE, you would be probably compared to the 56 million. No, there's no minimum. Like 0 is okay, startups are okay. Okay. The problem, not the problem, but for if you are a startup and you don't have 3 years gross receipts, you would just explain that in a memo and sign it and date it. But we do ask, and we'll talk about it later, for individual tax returns. Okay. Once, you have to, sorry, because they're live streamed.
Sorry, I just was on your last comment regarding the tax returns for a startup. Would the tax returns be applicable for all owners or just one of 3, for example? Let's say there's 3 owners.
So I'll have to double check, but it would be whoever makes, if there's two people that make up the majority ownership, we would need those two people. Like if there's a third partner and you're already making up the 51% or more, and the other person's like a male Caucasian, it, you know, wouldn't qualify, we would need both of yours. Okay? So another thing to prove economic disadvantage, we look at personal net worth statements, and that is the qualifying owners. Again, if there's two that make up the 51% or more, we would need their personal net worth statement, and that should not exceed 1.32 million. If it does, you're not qualified for this program, and that's after adjustments. And I don't know if we'll talk about it more, but adjustments, we don't include your personal residence in the calculation and in your liability, the mortgage, or your investment in your business. So we'll take that out of the formula. So the certification process. The following steps must be completed before your firm can be considered a certified DBE, ACDBE firm with the City of Chicago. So first step is you would submit an application, and we encourage it to be online. We're almost 99% online. Regulations will force us to accept a paper application, but it's just more efficient to do it online. And that's the website, www.chicago.mwdbe.com. So that's where you'll start. You'll set up your username and password, all of your company information, and then you'll select the appropriate application. I highly suggest, if you were trying to certify also in the local program, the women-owned business, try to do it all at the same time. But if you can't, for some reason, because it's all the same information, it makes sense, to do it, because then the same officer will review it, and you'll have the same dates to remember to renew your application. And then in the application, you want to attach all of the supporting documents relating to the firm and to the individual associated with the firm in the application. So there's going to be a whole list of information that you're going to need to attach, and make sure that in the mandatory section, that's mandatory. If something doesn't apply, like your tax returns for the business because you're in startup, just upload a statement saying that, okay? Don't leave it blank, because it won't let you submit your application. And then, if we need more information, the certification officer reviewing it will ask for it. And it's all done online. It'll go to your email. So getting started, you'll need the following documents in order to fill out your application. The federal program has evidence of citizenship or legal residency requirement. So passport is acceptable, your naturalization papers. The initial contribution, we need proof of the contributions by the owners. So for this is important, because we need to know where the initial funds came from to start your firm. And if it was $500 from your personal savings, write that in a statement, show us, you taking out the $500, writing a check to your business account, putting into your business account. I mean, it could be as simple as that. Or it could be, you took out this loan, so you need to show us the loan documents, or you cashed out your 401k. So those type of things will help us to see where the funds came from, and that they're legitimately, valid funds from your own funds, and not from somebody else.
This may sound like a silly question, but this is all in the Chicago MWDB site.
Yes. Yes. So this is the type of information you'll have to upload into that application, which is on the website. So it's like a portal. It's a secure portal. It's a web-based portal. Okay, so then the business documents for the specific type of firm. So if you're a sole proprietor, you haven't incorporated your business or something like that, that's okay. But we will ask for assumed name certificate. So with the Cook County or something like that, you would register your name. For partnerships, we ask for copies of your partnership agreement, and the assumed name certificate. For LLCs, limited liability companies, we'll ask for copies of the original and amended administrative agreements and the assumed name certificate. Corporations, copies of articles of incorporation and bylaws. So if you're an LLC or a corporation or a partnership and you're registered with the Secretary of State, make sure that you're in active status and some are not in good standing. And we will have to wait till you get in good standing and are active before we can continue the process of your application. So make sure that that's all in order. And so as you can see, this is, the business has to be established, okay? So like you said, I think you said earlier, you're a startup and you're thinking about this?
I have done a lot of work on my own over the years, and mostly as a consultant, so I bill out 1099s and things like that. Does that work out okay?
Yes, that's absolutely fine. And then later on, so that would be like a sole proprietor type, you're getting 1099s, you're reporting that on your taxes. Okay, so then so if you get certified as a sole proprietor now, then you decide you're going to be an LLC, then you'll just notify us as soon as that change happens within 10 business days. No. It's your business call. You can do it whenever you want. But I'm just saying, any material change in your business needs to be reported to our department within 10 days. So even a change in your address, you need to notify us within 10 days. Okay, 1 second. This is why I needed to.
I have a question about the sole proprietor versus a limited, liability company, similar to him over there. I've been doing work on my own, so does it make sense to get certified as my own and my LLC, or both, or none, or something along those lines if I'm currently doing the startup at the LLC, and work could be coming through either streams?
Well, I can't provide business advice, but because that would be your call if you want to get certified as a sole proprietor and then report that later, and then report the change later, but then you have a partner. Yeah, we're so. Okay. Never even thought about the sole proprietor. No, I think you're fine with just continuing what you're doing. And yeah, I think you're fine if you just continue with the LLC because you're on that track already. Yeah. What will help, though, is when you were a sole proprietor to inform us of that and your experience when you were doing that. And so the receipts you received as a sole proprietor, that would be on your taxes. Like, we would see that on your taxes. Okay. So that will be all picked up together in the gross receipts analysis, the size standards analysis. Okay, additional documents you'll need for the ACDBE DBE application. So we asked for copies of W-2 or 1099 forms for the current and previous 2 years for the owners. So there you would have, if you were doing consulting work, you'd have 1099s for that. 3 years of signed U.S. federal corporate income tax returns, including all attachments and schedules. So this is really important. All of the attachments and schedules need to accompany a signed federal income tax return. So a lot of people file their taxes. It doesn't matter. Just go ahead and sign it unless there's a form saying that they were submitted electronically and your accountant provided all of their information. But if not, just sign it. And then if there's schedules like Schedule C or Schedule E from your business or your rental income, we need to see all of that. K-1s that you receive from if you have a partnership or other business investments, they would give you K-1. So just be sure to do that. Also, we ask for financial statements, which is the balance sheet, which are your assets and liabilities, and your income and expense statement. So if that's available for your business, please provide that. If you don't have it, just explain why not. We also ask for 3 years of, when I was talking about the U.S. federal corporate income tax return, that's for the business. The 3 years of signed U.S. individual income tax returns, those would be your, obviously your individual tax returns, and that also would need all of your attachments, which would be the Schedule C and E. For the corporate taxes, that you might not be a corporation, but whatever appropriate tax return is filed. Also, which is another requirement, federal requirement, is that we perform on-site visits to the offices of the firm seeking DBE, ACDBE. The site visit report of an applicant by any other U.S. DOT may be relied upon to meet this requirement. Okay, so what this means is if you're a local, if you're here in applying for DBE, ACDBE with the city of Chicago, this is your home state, this is where your headquarters and your business is, we will do an on-site visit. If we also have interstate certification applications that come in, so if you get certified here with the city DBE, ACDBE, you can go to Indiana and send your application there and also get we have a reciprocal application. So you can get DBE, ACDBE certified there and 50 states, whoever. But for those, like they would call us for the site visit. They won't come here from Indiana and perform a site visit of your firm. So if an applicant from Florida is applying here for ACDBE, DBE, we will send them the site visit. That's the second part of this statement. So depending on the circumstances, a firm may or may not be notified when an on-site visit or interview will be conducted. So most times we will notify you because we need you to be there and available to conduct the interview. And for home offices, I think our field analysts will go to the home office because it's required to visit the actual place where the business is taking place. Okay, so approval and denial of application. So these 7 bullet points, this is basically going to tell us if you're eligible for the program or not. So ownership, we talked about, you have to prove that you're disadvantaged economically and socially. You have to, your business size determination, that you're not exceeding the limits that we talked about. Same with the personal net worth, that you don't exceed the 1.32 million. Independence and control. So those kind of go together. So we look at your independence and control. You have the expertise to run your business. I think architects are licensed through the state of Illinois. Like we would look at that your license is currently is up to date. Those type of things, and that nobody else is controlling your business. Non-eligible persons are not controlling your business, that they that you can run and it's okay if there are helping your business, but you need to ensure that they're not controlling your business, not making the management decisions and things like that. And that you guys have the burden of proof to show us that you're eligible, okay?
I'd like to ask you a follow-up question to that. Like, say, for example, I'm a one-man person. You need many people to run an architectural firm. So usually firms partner with other firms. Now, are there any limitations as a DBE or an MBE to be able to partner with another firm? If it's not a minority firm, how does that work?
Well, I think actually, so the purpose of the program is to help, the socially and economically disadvantaged. And a lot of times they're working as subcontractors for those prime vendors who don't qualify for the program. So that is the purpose of the program. We're just making sure that that they don't control you, like your business. I mean, of course they're going to say, okay, well, this is, your area, this is what your firm's going to complete. That's okay, that's a contract, but we just want to make sure that they're not, not using you as a front or something like that, okay? Yeah. So the benefits of becoming DBE, ACDBE certified. So there's no one second. Back? Sure.
About how long does this process take?
Oh, that's a good question. So regulations, typically it's taking about 90 days from the time of application that we receive all of the information to review everything. And, and that's the guidelines that we would like to follow. Sometimes it takes longer. It depends, how timely we get information from you. But yeah, that's about 90 to 120 days for both applications, for the local and the federal programs. And it should, yes. It should include the on-site visit. Okay, the benefits of becoming DBE, ACDBE certified. The first thing is there is no application fee, so it's free. Compared to the local program, there's a $250 charge every 5 years. The certification as a DBE and or ACDBE provides opportunities for participation in U.S. DOT and FAA federal funded contracts with the City of Chicago, Illinois Department of Transportation, Chicago Transit Authority, Metra, and PACE. So you can get DBE, ACDBE certified through one of those agencies, and we all accept this certification. We have a relationship with a number of agencies also that can provide assistance to DBE firms. There are assist agencies, and they can provide a variety of services to small businesses. I mean, they can even help you fill out your application. And then the City of Chicago DBE, ACDBE program demonstrates the city's continued commitment to the success of minority and women-owned businesses. And then again, we have a 90-day certification process. So it's sometimes less, sometimes more. That just depends. Once you are certified, we provide a one-stop certification. So again, once you're certified with the city as a DBE and or ACDBE, your certification is accepted by IDOT, Metra, PACE, and City, and CTA. You can sign up for DPS and DOA alerts. That's Department of Aviation. Alerts to alert you of contracting opportunities with the City of Chicago. All City of Chicago and its sister agencies' contract opportunities can be found online, and we provide you with a list of agencies that provide assistance to DBE firms. These agencies provide assistance in business development. Oh, okay, that's it. So connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Again, All of these presentations are available on YouTube. .com/Chicago DPS. You can type in the workshop and look for the most recent one. That will be the most current one. And then our website is cityofchicago.org/DPS. All bid and advertisements, addenda, upcoming workshops, events, new policies, and procedures that affect vendor community. Okay, 1 second, please.
You indicated that we needed federal tax returns. What about state returns? Do you need those as well?
No, we don't look at them. We're more concerned with the federal tax return.
And on the same note, what are you looking for in the federal tax returns?
So the federal tax returns help us determine your economic status. So, we'll look at your business investments. If you have other business investments, we'll look at any partnerships. We'll look at rental income. And there's a lot of different things, like on the personal net worth side, it's just an analysis. We're just ensuring that, you're under the size limits. So that's what we're looking for.
So Regis, you mentioned some of the agencies, sister agencies that the DBE, MBE would be good for. What about, but I didn't see Chicago Park District or Chicago Public Schools. What about those?
Oh, okay. So those are actually other, they're other agencies. Do you have can I get a copy of the buying guide? Yeah, we're more, those are other city departments. Those are other departments. And so you'll actually see those agencies in the buying guide. So they have their own procurement. Like if you wanted to get CHA, Chicago Housing Authority, Cook County, Forest Preserves, you'll find them all in here and what they're planning to buy too. But I mean, they're considered sister agencies, wouldn't you say? The CHA and CPS, Park District, they're considered sister agencies.
So we don't need to apply for another DBE or anything through them? Is that what you're saying?
Well, they would I think in most cases, you would have to go to the specific agency and see if they accept the city certification. We only accept Cook County. So we only have reciprocity with Cook County and vice versa. I don't know if Cook County accepts any others. But most other agencies accept the Chicago's certification. And that's usually MBE and WBE. Like the federal program is the federal money. So like the DOT and the FAA. Yeah. So you might need to. And I know, for example, the state of Illinois, they might have like an expedited process to get certified if you're already certified with Chicago. I think they do. We don't have reciprocity with the state of Illinois because their limit is much higher than ours. So ours, Okay. Well, I'll be here if you have any other questions.
Been great, thanks. I learned a lot.
Yeah, great. The How to Become Certified workshop is a really good one. That has a lot more information. This is kind of really, it's the same place, and it's, I think, once a month, actually. This one's only done twice a year or